And we are live.
Good morning, everyone. It's the one, the only V, the Gorilla Economist, coming to you live with my main man, CJ. And we want to wish all of you an aloha snack bar from the balmy tundra that is New York and the undisclosed location where CJ is. It is friggin' freezing. God, it's cold. I'm looking at my temperature thing, my weather app on my iPhone, bro. And 13 degrees, man. 13 mother freaking degrees.
It's -4.
Isn't that crazy? God. No.
-4. No. And that's a standalone temperature, V.
Oh my God, bro. Dude, I thought I had it bad. 4 degrees. Dude, it's freezing.
Yeah, you got a heat wave on the East Coast. What are you talking about?
That's true. That's true. I do have a heat wave. In comparison to you, man. Yeah, you like the Arctic tundra. I got a heat wave of 13 degrees Fahrenheit. It's ridiculous. I can't believe this, man. This is Netflix and chill day, man. Why are we working, CJ?
I don't know. Let's just go ahead and call it a day, man. Let's just go ahead and end the show right now.
Let's just end the show right here.
Piss off a bunch of people.
That's it, man. I'm sure they got better things to do than listen to us at this point. And in the week leading up to New Year's.
Right.
I mean, there's not much going around, right? You know?
It is relatively quiet. There are a couple minor things, but I'm looking forward to the new year, V. I'm not sure about you, but I always like to at this time of the year kind of reflect, look back on the year, make some adjustments for 2018, and I think it's going to be an exciting year for all of us, V.
I think 2018 is going to be the year to make all years, my man. I think we got some great things ahead, and I think all of you guys have been thinking about becoming an entrepreneur. You've been wanting to become an entrepreneur. You've been thinking about starting your business. I think it's the year to do it. Whatever it is, be creative about it. And if you need a startup capital, check out our sponsors at remaincom.net, remaincom.net, where you can get up to $600,000 unsecured from their lending network of over 335 lenders. So check them out, remaincom.net. And if your credit ain't that good, so you can get one of those ridiculously awesome unsecured loans, then you need to check those guys out as well at remaincom.net, because they can get your credit score fixed and get you moving. Perhaps this new year is going to be finally the year you stop the BS, you stop the dilly-dallying, you say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to stop listening to the FUD, and I'm going to start listening to my gut, and I'm going to start listening to the gorilla, and I'm going to go ahead and come 2018 start putting some money into cryptos, but you don't know what to do. Maybe you're confused. Maybe you don't know what wallet you should use, what exchange you should use. How do you navigate from a wallet to your bank account? How do you get from your cryptos out of your wallet, from an exchange into a bank account? How do you do these things? How do you stay abreast of the latest cryptos? And who's there to teach you? Well, folks, I have an answer for you. That's the one, the only, thecryptoschool.io. Thecryptoschool.io. It is the place where yours truly and Frank have created, along with our partners, Vin Armani's there, Bix Weird's there. We're going to be adding more people down the pike. So get ready for the Crypto School. So check them out, thecryptoschool.io. And of course, the holidays might be over, Christmas might be done, but it's never too late to have some liberty and some fun. So check out the Silverback, my friends. The Silverback, the ultimate OS, the operating system with the most. The Silverback, absolute privacy. You could. This is what you can do. You can have an encrypted Bitcoin wallet built into your Silverback, whatever, an Ether wallet, whatever cryptocurrency you want. You can slap it on there. Ain't nobody going to touch it. You can surf the web, use emails, go into the dark web. The Silverback is the way to do it safely and securely with 1024-bit elliptical grade or ECC encryption. You know what ECC encryption means, folks? Let me tell you what ECC encryption means, okay? 164 bits of ECC encryption is the equivalent of 1024 bits of regular encryption. So 1024 bits of ECC encryption is the equivalent of 6,000 bits of encryption. Can you imagine that, CJ?
Yeah, that's awesome.
1024 bit of ECC is the equivalent of over 6,200 bits of encryption. You're damn near uncrackable. You're the safest you're gonna be. So check it out. The Silverback. Buy it right now for the holiday prices, $2.99, $2.99, $2.99. You save $30 off the MSRP. Go to mygoldusb.com. And with that out of the way, CJ in the frozen tundra and me in the frozen Arctic over here. What's crack-a-lackin', brother?
You know, it's interesting to continue to hear the garbage mainstream media V as they continue to, not understand that this entire Trump movement that was created, well over a year ago was more about a call to justice, a call to reform, to change government. And they continue to state now they're looking at the 2020 election saying, Trump's over. This is coming from the same people that said, he had no chance of winning in 2016. And now they're coming out and stating that, prepare, that, Trump is not going to get elected in 2020. But there's a lot of data to support that's not true, although the media continues to state to prepare for Trump being ousted in 2020 V.
Yep, absolutely. And the reality of the matter is the Brits are absolutely right in this one. The British diplomats and government officials, even British intelligence, that says, look, stop with the looking at the charts. Stop looking at the idiotic media, which is saying that, Trump's going to get impeached. Ooh, he's going to resign. He's going to be back. There's who the heck is who is the left going to run against him? Okay, Hillary will probably be in jail by then, hopefully to God. Okay. There's no other personality because this idiot wench ran around the whole country ruining it for everybody else. And the only kid that was supposed to run is some limp noodle named John Ossow, who ran for Congress in a district that's not where he doesn't even live in. Okay. So the only thing the left has left to run is Maxine Waters, CJ, and I don't think Maxine Waters is going to fare well against Trump.
Oh God, dear Lord, no! Mm-hmm. That Looney Tune. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. That'd be doing the administration a favor, V.
Totally, brother. Totally, 1000% correct. Absolutely right. Moving on, brother. Dogecoin catches fire as Bitcoin slows down. This is a hot one to watch. Dogecoin, an open source digital currency featuring a dog resembling a Shiba Inu from the famous Doge internet meme as its logo, has officially passed the $1 billion market cap, trading at literally, my God, man, like 9/10 per coin. Initially introduced as a joke coin by Billy Marcus, it's become, as many say, one of the best cryptocurrencies on the market with low fees, fast transactions, stable inflation rates. A huge army of Dogecoin fans believe that it's a perfect coin for beginners willing to learn how digital currency markets work. Doge has been used for payment form in several cases. The weather forecasting website and mobile app Doge Weather requests tips in Dogecoins to maintain its activity. Man tried to sell his house for $135,000 in Dogecoins back in 2014. An Australian Australian porn star Angela White set up a payment system in Dogecoins, allowing viewers to visit her website. And of course, the internet currency has been used in gambling. The Sun-Times Media Group, which has already accepted Bitcoin payments, has reportedly planned to implement Dogecoin tipping for its writers. While some think that Dogecoin is worth almost nothing, one should bear in mind that Bitcoins also used to be worth nothing back in 2009. But today, those who have invested in the cryptocurrency earlier have reaped what they sowed, and many of them are buying luxurious cars, apartments in the wealthiest neighborhoods. Of course, no one can be that sure that Dogecoin, based on a ridiculous internet meme, will become the next Bitcoin. But it's fun and still accessible, which can't help but draw people's attention. I'll do one better. Okay? I'll do one better. Even though there's some news around Dogecoin, and it's fun. You want to dabble in it. That's all good. But I'll do one better. Okay? It's called Ripple. Ripple is dirt cheap right now. Yeah, right? Ripple's dirt cheap right now. Let me find out what's Ripple going for right now, Siege. Let me just take a.
I think I think it would have been cool if they would have called it Dog E Coin instead, V.
It's supposed to be called Dodge or something like that. I forgot how the meme or the story goes, but then it wound up the guys forgot the other D and it just became Doge. Something like that.
No, I'm perfect with it, but I think Dog E is kind of cool too. Dog E Coin.
I mean, yeah, if you're gonna have a face of a dog as your symbol, you might as well, right? I mean, geez Louise, it's unreal. Okay, going to Coin Market Cap right now, Siege. Coin Market Cap. Coin Market Cap on my Brave browser. My Brave browser has been working flawlessly. I love it, man. I keep coming back to it. Okay, dude, Ripple, folks. They're telling people to buy Ripple when it was like 20 cents, 30 cents. It's $1.31.
There you go. Boom.
Dude, that's huge, bro. That's huge.
Yeah, especially if you don't have thousands upon $1,000 laying around to throw it. Some of the traditional ones. I mean, at that price point, why not, right?
That's what I'm saying.
The entry price on that is pretty spot on.
$1.31. You got $1.31 in Ripple. There's over 30 banks that have signed on a nation to start utilizing Ripple. Okay, Monero, beast mode. Look at Monero's still expensive, $413, but EOS is at $10. EOS, man, wow. Bitcoin Gold at $300. Neo at 67. What else is a great buy-in over here? You got BitShares at 58 cents. Tether is at $1. There's some good buy-ins over here. I'm looking. Oh, look at Salt, man. Salt's at $13. Dude, Salt is. I mean, how long have I been telling people to buy Salt, man? Bix has been on here telling people to buy Salt.
Oh, he's been at least the last 6 months, right?
Yeah, dude. Look at this. Look at 3 months of Salt. Okay, 3 months of Salt. Come on now. Yeah, man.
It's an interesting time, in the market, and right before the holidays. Obviously, we saw that price correction a little bit, and all the shills were out there. We were like, oh yeah, this is it. Bitcoin Cash are going to zero at this stage. Just continue to watch it, and again, the cryptos, provided the resilience, which most of us, our listeners, probably knew that was the intention, was to bring it back down just so that they could buy the dip. And now we're witnessing the entire sector recovery.
Correct. 1,000%, man. The only thing I don't see here is my banana coin. I'm very, very disappointed with the banana coin ICO, where all the world's bananas will be based upon this token. I don't see it here, man. I'm very disappointed. But anyway, moving forward, man. I mean, dude, there's still some great buys out there. If again, like Ripple is great. I'm gonna buy some more of that. Again, folks, same investment advice. None of this crap is investment. This is like speculative. This is again, buyer beware and all that other good stuff. But
yeah, we're not talking about doing anything crazy. Yeah, don't get a second mortgage. Don't go sell a kidney. Anything like that, man.
And you can't put your entire savings into something. I mean, there are people like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my entire life savings into this. No, are you crazy? Are you nuts? You never put everything you have. Don't invest more than you could afford to lose. And people, even with saying that, people still go ahead and they do it, CJ. They just go ahead and they do it. And you know what? I can't stop them. It is what it is, brother. It is what it is. Anyway, talking about the state of the Bitcoin, the crypto rant, we have an ICO to build next-gen AI, raises $36 million, CJ, in 60 seconds. It shows the world the power of cryptos, and who the hell needs banks, brother? I mean, look at this, right, Siege?
Right. Singularity.net raised $36 million in 1 minute. Wow. Completely selling out of its native AGI tokens. While it's an enormous amount of money to raise an incredible short period of time, it's somewhat unsurprising considering the demand. And this is primarily because of the fact that one of their huge focus, V, is to decentralize this and keep this open source, which would allow traditionally you see corporations that, launch an IPO. They want to control the technology. They want to obviously, monetize as much as they can. Well, here Singularity.net is taking a different approach to allow this on the blockchain, allow open source, and primarily probably what's driving some of that.
Yeah, and this whole damn thing is an AI marketplace where basically one AI can interact with another AI and pay the other AI to solve a particular client or customer's problems. It's just a marketplace for an exchange of AI ideas and interactions and tasks. And even with this on vaporware, man. I mean, can you imagine if somebody came up to me? See, could you imagine like you and I walk into a bank, you're like, yes, I am V, aka Mr. Gria, and this is El Cuco, and we're here to put forth, and we're walking to a bank. We're sitting with the bank business manager. We're like, yes, we want to bring our company, Singularity.net. And the bank manager's like, so what do you guys do? Well, we are creating a marketplace for the exchange of ideas amongst artificial intelligences, amongst AIs. The guy would have looked at us and be like, here's $100 at 22% interest. Have a nice day.
Or we need 5 years of records, and we need the last 2 years, you turning these profits, coming from, that industry. I mean, I heard it from so many startups, so many, people had these great minds of cash to get them going, be, $15,000, $25,000, because they had this idea. When you start a business, it costs money to do, right? But traditional banks don't offer that. They don't want to touch you unless you're, they have the capital back. You're backed by either some type of tangible asset or 5 years in the business. And I've heard that not only from people that did their own startups that were like, listen, I had to turn to different means to get funded because the banks just want the next sure thing. They don't really want to take any calculated risk at all.
None whatsoever. Again, folks, in the history of 150 years of banking history, the banks have only given you two things. They've given you an ATM and a debit card. That's it. But within those,
here's one other thing, real quick, quick, where they're talking about the traditional banks, and especially around this holiday time, is that probably one of the most disheartening things that I incurred, coming from that industry, was where church organizations, and I know that in terms of church and what they represent and all that, so I get it, religion, traditional religion,
sure.
However, if that's people's thing, that's their thing to do,
right?
And it was hard to witness, some of these church the members come in or what have you, where they have an existing loan coming in, or they need to make repairs, right? They want to revamp some things.
Sure.
And you process all the documents, and to hear from a company that prides itself, like JP Morgan, that, oh yeah, we're inclusive, we're doing all these things, to hear directly from the underwriters that churches are unfavorable right now. We're not looking at any lending with anything. We don't care what they have on book of business with us.
Wow.
They're a dying industry, basically, is what they call it. We're not touching anything with a church organization right now. And to witness that firsthand, and to see how potentially, organizations like that could benefit from, tokenization of things. And, this could help, something that's probably untapped, that they even not even heard of tokens or cryptos to help with some of those organizations. But the traditional banks are a dying breed. The next 5 years, we're going to see massive, I imagine, even more consolidation of banks, even more closures of your traditional brick and mortar banks.
Yeah, 1,000%. And this is where Christians need to get smart, and people within religious organizations need to grow some brains. I mean, there's a saying in scripture that I like. It's in Proverbs, says, "My people die for lack of knowledge," and I think that benefits the modern Christian church and Christianity in general in North America and the Western world. I've never seen much more brain dead people than I do when I go to a church. It's unbelievable. It's unreal. It's unreal. Everybody's a child. I mean, God almighty, everywhere I look, you see nothing but, sophomoric, arrested development, juvenile mentalities everywhere I look. No one has a critical brain. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to me, man. It's just, it is what it is. And this is why people that are in religious institutions like churches, whatever religion you belong to, you're gonna get shut down by the banks. And I'll tell you right now, man, it's this is where cryptos can help save religious organizations such as churches, because a lot of banks don't want to deal with you unless you're some mega church, unless you're some you got a couple of hundred, couple of thousands, maybe tens of thousands of members that are on your dole. Nobody wants to touch you, so so it's a problem for smaller churches to come out and do that. And it's amazing to me, why doesn't somebody create an ICO for Christians? Why doesn't somebody create a cryptocurrency for Christians, and they can use this to tithe amongst themselves? They can use this to fund missions work around the world. They can use this to build orphanages and soup kitchens and help the homeless and do all these wonderful things. And these idiots, what they do is, rather than coming up with a solution themselves, because now the technology exists, hat in hand and go over to Babylon and say, hey, Babylon, the Babylonian banksters, and say to the Babylonian banksters, hey, you know what? We're trying to get a loan because we want to build a soup kitchen. We want to do this. They're not getting anywhere. Okay. And honestly speaking, I mean, church, what's the latest figures on church growth in the United States? Been like pretty much in negative numbers, man. I mean, churches are declining severely. So, I think church and religion itself is getting decentralized, CJ.
Yeah, absolutely. And those financial institutions will be happy to accept the deposits, but
all day.
Don't look for them for anything else.
No. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Anyway, if the economy is improving, CJ, can you please tell me why the hell is this happening? Because this makes no sense to me whatsoever, sir. And that is the return of subprime. Deteriorating U.S. loan quality sounds alarm. Wow. The Federal Reserve Bank of Nuevo York, which is basically the real Fed, okay, that is the head honcho Fed bank, is the Fed bank in Nuevo York, okay, has been calling attention to the ongoing rise in auto loan delinquencies, as well as surging household debt levels, which pose potential hazards to the bond market and the broader economy. It poses a threat to the bond market, my friend, because you, Joe and Jane Public, are the collateral for the bonds, okay? Christian Ruiz, U.S. household debt, hit a new high point last month, the Federal Reserve Bank in New York says, highlighting the mounting risks to the health of the broader economy. This is as the post-Great Recession recovery facility appears to be broken. Okay? Exposing the imbalances in the generation and distribution of wealth, as well as the ongoing polarization of individual incomes. However, the main concern is the rise of subprime loan delinquencies in the auto credit segment. Obama-era ultra-low interest rates encouraged car ownerships across the country, while also contributing to the delusion that anyone could afford a home, the availability of higher education, and credit card purchasing power. Now the debt binge is all but over, and the first signs of a hangover emerge as private equity firms and hedge funds are screaming bloody murder, facing the mounting volumes of delinquent debt. Now, according to the report from the New York Fed, overall housing debt rose. Drum roll, please, CJ.
There you go.
Okay. It rose to 12.96 trillion. Dude, we're at 13 trillion. Can we just say the American consumers tapped out? I mean, did you see the headline on Drudge yesterday, CJ, where it says, MasterCard, highest rate ever? And like,
well, yeah, of course they're going to be happy, right? Who's going to pay that interest?
Drudge posted that as their front page article. MasterCard, highest usage ever. Like it's some sort of a MAGA-worthy event. And I'm laughing. All it means is that Americans are tapping out their savings. They're tapping out what little they have. They're squeezing the blood out of their credit cards at this point because they're so damn overextended on credit. And here's the American public, folks, $13 trillion. Folks, nothing has changed in the rudimentary economics. I don't care what friggin' data the government comes out with. I don't care what Trump says. I think he's playing a game. I think he's smart in that sense. He's probably, playing to the crowd a little bit over there. But the rudimentary basic data of the economy has not changed one bit. Joe and Jane Public is tapped out to the tune of $13 trillion this past quarter. outstanding student debt. Another drum roll. Student debt. Here we go. 1.36 trillion, brother. 1.3. We have crossed the $1 trillion threshold for student debt. Auto loans surge to 1.2 trillion. This is a debt nation, bro. This is a debt nation. Now, you know, let's ask right now. Okay, let's ask. Hold on. Doing show. It's got this message from overseas. Show call you.
Yeah, and then you look at the student loan delinquencies. It rose to 11.2%. And now also they're sounding the alarm bell regarding the delinquencies in the subprime loans, auto loans as well, V, which is just incredible. And on this article, they're stating that those are threatening to knock out the entire credit system over. So just truly amazing to be witnessing this.
Bro, I mean, it truly is. And we're supposedly, because of all the fluff, okay, because, again, guys, this is the problem. We have a wonky GDP accounting system, okay? We have a wonky GDP accounting system. And they're saying, okay, our crazy GDP is stating that our economy is an $18.5 trillion economy. That is horse manure of the highest level. Because they're taking into account government expenditure. They're taking into account the over inflated stock market. They're taking into account the usage of consumer debt. And all these are all of a sudden GDP and economic stimulus and growth. And they're saying that we have an 18.57 trillion economy. We freaking do not have that type of economy. We don't whatsoever. It is debt. It is debt. Okay, so this 18.5 trillion, I think our real economic numbers are anywhere between $6 and $8 trillion. That's it. And dying. It's actually stabilized a little bit. So it's anywhere between 6 and 8 trillion, real numbers, real talk. China has an $11.2 trillion economy. That's a real physical economy. And that's not based upon the fictitious numbers coming out of their Wall Street. That's just based on the economic engine and the physical economy, their economic output that they're actually outputting. I mean, we're a country that makes nothing. We're a country of consumers. Can someone please explain to me how we have an $18.5 trillion economy? Because I can sit here in a table with 12 of the top economists on planet Earth, and each of them will give me a different answer, CJ. Each of them will give me a different answer, and each of them will be totally 100% wrong. The only guy who gets it, one of the few guys that gets it, but the only guy who actually quantifies it in real metrics and numbers is Dr. John Williams from Shadow Stats. That's it. And that man has to go back to the old school numbers that they stopped reporting back in the 80s, that they did this accounting arithmetic, these accounting gymnastics that they've done back in the 80s. Okay, when we started counting government expenditure as consumer as economic growth. And he rearranges the numbers. So there's no way in hell. And every day, folks, we're out here reporting to you. Look, we have 42 million on food stamps, 95 million permanently unemployed, 101 million on some sort of welfare. You have, freaking 13 trillion in debt. The American consumer, 1.36, almost 1.4 trillion in student loans, 1.2 trillion in auto loans. Housing market's the lowest it's been since 1965. Mortgage applications have flatlined. Housing prices are coming down. And yet we have an $18.5 trillion economy. That is, I'm calling BS on that. That's BS.
Right.
And if you believe that, then I have a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you. Anyway. Trump's executive order, bro. No doubt trafficking and targeting human trafficking, brother. What's that all about?
Yeah, let's make this the last one. And this didn't get a whole lot of coverage, but just right on Thursday, last Thursday, Trump signed an executive order targeting Clinton-linked individuals, lobbyists, and perhaps Uranium One. The Trump administration quietly issued executive order last Thursday, which allowed for the freezing of U.S. House assets belonging to foreign individuals or entities deemed serious human rights abusers, along with government officials and executives of foreign corporations, current or former, found to have engaged in corruption, which includes the misappropriation of state assets, the expropriation of private assets for personal gain, and corrupt related to government contracts or the extraction of natural resources. This executive order has a lot of people in DC shaking in their boots right now. Primarily the targeting, when you think of, there's so many implications from this executive order. So think of the lobbyists and everything that they lobby for in DC. A lot of special interests, a lot of foreign relation interests. Now, the list of these 13 individuals targeted by this was also just a part of it. The Treasury also announced there were 39 organization individuals that are targeted as well. I did a quick Google search of some of the names, and not only do I think this is targeting, not only is this targeting specific to the Uranium One deal, I believe this is also specifically targeting human trafficking and organ harvesting. One of the individuals on there specifically listed in Pakistan has been accused, arrested of organ harvesting there. So this is going after the cabal specifically. And if you look at the coding that's there, and W and Bankster Slayer specifically targeted. So 13 individuals and 39 people for a total of 52 under this new order. So this is huge. This is massive. So this is a great sign that specifically, there's no better place to hit them right now in terms of the wallet seizing their assets, and hopefully that these individuals, when they start targeting me more, it's going to lead to arrests that will happen with the Clintons and their Clinton Foundation.
Wow.
Yeah, you can go through the list of the names. You can find it on whitehouse.gov, the name of the 13 individuals. And when you can just do a quick Google search of the individuals and you find out the crimes against humanity. And a lot of these are in war-torn areas. And what usually happens to the children in those war-torn areas? Yeah, they may be torturing people and everything else, but what happens to the kids? Usually they're sold on the black market, this entire, sex slave trade that occurs globally. And I believe not only to the Uranium One deal, I think this is specifically targeting that massive network that exists.
Mm-hmm. This is quite huge. I mean, think of this, okay? Here we have Dan Gertler. Okay, Dan Gertler, who is a skis bucket who needs to get punched in the nose, and I love to do. He has a type of proboscis that I'd like to hit in the face. Anyway, Dan Gertler, Israeli billionaire mining magnate, revealed by Paradise Papers to be the chief negotiator between the Democratic Republic of the Congo and his primary business partner, mining company Glencore. That's my old boss's company's Glencore. That's who taught me the rings, is a former head of trading for Glencore. That's my mentor, okay, which is a company created by the evil Mark Rich. This guy was pardoned. I'm talking about Dan Gertler, okay? Dan Gertler, who happens to know my old boss, my mentor. Gertler was a dirtbag, has always been from the beginning. He is a soulless, convictionless, he has no conscience. He's a son of a bitch. He was pardoned. This corrupt warmonger, this disgusting piece of human filth, was pardoned for corruption by Bill Clinton on his last day in office after Gertler's wife gave a $450,000 donation to the Clinton Library Foundation. Yesterday's the other day when Trump signed the executive orders, Glencore immediately cut ties with Gertler. What does that tell you, CJ?
Boom.
What does that tell you?
Guilty as hell.
Exactly. This son of a bitch, Gertler. Okay. In 2001, Gertler gave $20 million in cash to the Democratic Republic of Congo's President Joseph Kabila to use, basically buy weapons and fund his war against rebels. Consolidated his grip on power. In exchange, Gertler's company, IDI, was granted a monopoly in the DRC diamond trade. Blood diamonds. Blood diamonds. Okay. Blood diamonds. This son of a bitch. Worth hundreds of millions a year. In 2013, Gertler sold the DRC rights to the mine oil for $150 million, a 300% increase on an asset he purchased from President Kabila 7 years prior for just $500,000. Okay, this is a son of a bitch. This is a guy who needs to get punched right in the nose. In 2012, Kabila offered Bill Clinton $650,000 for a speech in the DRC. Man, he must be giving the best speeches, CJ.
Right.
He seriously must be giving the best speeches.
And also tied into the McCains as well.
Oh, yeah. So basically, Clinton all of a sudden gave State Department approval, only to have a speaking agency recommend against the appearance, which would require photos with the dictator. Gertler's Family Foundation is also linked to John McInsane, sharing a seat on the board of directors of quote-unquote Operation Smile. Ain't that sweet, CJ? Operation Smile with Cindy McCain for a period of time. Yahya Jammeh. That's a nice name. Yahya Jammeh, former president of Gambia, another superpower in Africa right there, Gambia. I'm being facetious here, folks. Who came into power in 1994 and stepped down in 2017, has a long history of serious human rights abuses and corruption, creating a terror and assassination squad called the Junglers that answered directly to him, the Junglers. And here's a picture of this asshole standing with that idiot Obama. Yeah, that's a good one. Jammeh was installed as president during the 94. Oh, isn't this wonderful, CJ? This is our foreign policy at work. Here's why we need to overhaul our foreign policy. The 1994 CIA-led coup is what brought Jammeh, the tyrant dictator, to power in Gambia. And it was authorized by what? Who authorized that, CJ? Who was the president that signed off on that?
It wouldn't happen to be Bill Clinton, would it?
I think you're right, CJ. I don't know nothing about Gambia. Old Jammeh said to me he said, "Hey Bill, I got this great idea. Why don't you just overthrow this country called Gambia, and you come over and you set up shop, and I'll pay you $625,000 for a speaking engagement." And I said, "I like speeching, so I give a lot of speechings everywhere I go, Jammeh. But I just can't appear to be on a photograph with you. But maybe I could do a speech like a silhouette, Jammeh. You know, like I could stand behind a silhouette. Let me be like a curtain. I could stand behind a curtain and give a speech. As I give these speeches, you can pay me the $625 for my Clinton library." And that's what happened. He's friends with both the Clinton and Obama administrations. Angel Rondo Rijo is another genius from the Dominican Republic. Platano over here. Platano. Angel Rodan Rijo. Sanctioned for funneling $92 million bribe from Brazilian conglomerate Odebrecht to Dominican Republic officials as kickbacks. And Odebrecht, the Brazilian conglomerate over there, CJ, happens to have just donated anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 that we know of to the Clinton Foundation.
Imagine that, B. Imagine that.
Imagine that. Imagine that. Okay. Oh, we're going to love this one. Mukhtar Hamid Shah. Mukhtar Hamid Shah. Mukhtar Hamid Shah. Pakistan. Guy's a surgeon, specializes in kidney transplants.
Nice. Yeah. Whether you want it or not.
Whether you want it or not. He's believed to be in the kidnapping, wrongful confinement. Wrongful confinement? How about just kidnapping and imprisonment? and the removal and trafficking of human organs from Pakistani laborers. Unfreaking believable. Unfreaking believable. 13 individuals engaged in a variety of corruption and human rights abuses, ranging from Serbian arms dealer believed to be linked to $95 million deal with Yemen, to government officials who ordered journalists murdered, to several instances of serious human rights violations. One wonders if perhaps the purpose of the executive order addresses serious human rights abuses and corruption. A national emergency was intended to ensure the much talked about swamp renovation comes in ahead of schedule and under budget.
Nice.
Trump. This is.
It was almost like a Christmas gift.
This is what I've been saying, CJ. When he does wrong, you and I, we call him out on it. But I never for once have I ever given up on this guy. Even though I've been venting, I mean, that whole Syrian, missile nonsense where he shot off 59 cruise missiles, this, that, and the other, some of the rhetoric, even though I vented on the air about it, in the back of my head, a small, still voice said, relax, he's doing this for political circus. It's kabuki theater. It's political rhetoric. This crazy haired SOB pulled it. Is pulling it off. He's literally draining the swamp ahead of schedule and under budget. The typical Trump way.
Right. Yep. Yeah, it's a Christmas gift and a lot of messaging here. Wow. To the deep state operatives that you're next.
Oh my God. I love it. Anyway, last on the order, brother, the weapon sales to the Ukraine. I know there's a lot of talk about it. Why the U.S. supply to Ukraine is disastrous. This is giving them, some heavy weaponry. I'm still looking into it. All we know is that no weapons have actively been there as of yet.
Correct.
I'm trying to find out exactly what has been shipped. Is it second-hand crap? Because usually that's what they do. And it's really not going to make much of a difference. They could be giving them second-rate thousands of, garbage equipment, and it won't do much of anything. Okay?
Yeah, primarily I think, keep the neocons in check. Yeah. That continue to perpetuate this continuous state of conflict there.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's nothing more than that.
Yeah, that's what my gut's telling me. I look, man, here's the deal. Okay, we've seen U.S. giving quote unquote deadly arms to the Iraqis, and it was really much of nothing. Okay. There's nothing that the U.S. gives as quote unquote arms, deadly arms that cannot be countered with something that is low tech and fielded by guerrillas. Nothing. We've seen it in Yemen as Saudi M1A2 Abrams main battle tanks were going up like Roman candles. We've seen it in Iraq, what happens when American military equipment just literally gets dismantled and destroyed on the field. It's not a big deal. Okay. Coupled with the fact that the Ukrainian military is a very low morale, it's really going to do nothing. It's really going to do nothing in the grander scheme of things. And that's what my gut's telling me, because that's what I see it. Okay. Though the U.S. has not publicly said what weapons it needs that it intends to supply. Okay. Some people say it's likely that the weapons will include a batch of Javelin anti-tank missiles. Who cares? Okay. It's not like the separatists are fielding tanks. Okay. In Donbass and Sevastopol, I don't think they're fielding tanks, CJ. There's no tank. Right. I see Ukrainian tanks getting smashed by Cornet missiles, which are way better than Javelin, by the way, and far cheaper. I've seen that happen. So, anyway, it's a wait and see. I wouldn't get my panties in a bunch over this. It's not it's just, I think it's just rhetoric. And like you said, Siege, I think it gives the neocons something to chew on.
Roger that.
Anyway, my friend, that covers it all. What do we have lined up? Maybe I might do my little inaugural thing. I know I talked about it yesterday. the Gorilla Insights. I might just go on. I need to get some rest. Knock down some.
Yeah, it's the holiday
throws.
time, so it's relatively quite a lot of our normal shows. They're either traveling with family.
Yeah.
So we will not be doing a hump day today.
No, Bix is too busy having fun.
Yeah, he's too busy. But check out roguemoney.net. Bankster Slayer posted an article.
Absolutely.
Christmas Day, the Sumerian prehistory in Antarctica.
Yes.
It's trending very well. It's just amazing the number of views and shares that article has. So go check that out.
Absolutely. And with that being said, folks, I am the Gorilla. I am the Simian Superman, a.k.a. Optimus Primate, and he is El Cuco, the producer extraordinaire. And we are over and out. Take it away, CJ.